dedicated to each and every one of you who appreciate a great glass of wine. You know what I mean?
It's Monday. Let's raise a glass to the beginning of another week. It's time to unscrew, uncork, or saber a bottle. And let's begin exploring the wine glass. Today, we return to the Paso Robles Downtown Vibe event. The second opportunity people had to taste the wines from downtown wineries was in a food and wine pairing. The event was a huge success. Wines from Indigene, Seashell, Cereal, Stilson, and Symbiosis were poured alongside Chef Alma's creations. After hearing the descriptions of the food and how they pair with the wines, you will be wiping the drool off your phone. While you're listening, it would be greatly appreciated if you could take 1 minute to subscribe, rate, and review. It takes only a few seconds of your time, but means so much to the show. The next best way to support Exploring the Wine Glass is to tell all of your friends. If you enjoy the podcast, your wine-loving friends will too. Remember to follow me on all the socials. And finally, don't forget to head to the website, exploringthewineglass.com, to read the blog, sign up for the newsletter, and keep up with all the happenings. Sláinte! Hey everybody, I'm Lori Budd, a UC Davis winemaking program, Spanish wine scholar, sommelier service, champagne and Côte d'Aron specialist, and a WSET Level 2 graduate. You can find Exploring the Wine Glass on all the socials, as well as your favorite podcast catchers. If you haven't subscribed yet, now's the perfect time to swipe, subscribe, rate, and review. Stay in the know about all things wine by visiting my website, exploringthewineglass.com. I promise I'll never tell you what to drink, but I'll always share what's in my glass.
You are so special, even in the Bible.
We have a really special guest today, Chef Alma Ayun. It's La Chef. If you haven't had a chance to go to any of her events that she does, she's a private chef that does all kinds of great events, and she is outstanding. So today, I think you're going to be wowed on the food bites that she's made for you. You're going 3 showings. The other 2 are going to be coming out after she does her introduction. She's going to go and prepare the hot ones for later. Okay? So here she is. Oh, come on.
Already.
So Chef Alma Ayun. Before becoming a chef, she worked in the entertainment industry for more than 20 years as an event and TV producer. She loved her job and had some incredible memories, but decided to put TV career on the back burner in order to pursue her long life passion for cooking. She enrolled in Cordon Bleu College of Culinary Arts in Hollywood, and after graduating with honors and turned under Master Chef Michael Cimarusti at one of LA's finest restaurants, Providence on Melrose Avenue. From there, she went on to open La Mille Coffee Boutique in Silver Lake. And after working there, she catered with companies such as Wolfgang Puck, including before making the move to come up to our area in 2012. So when she came up, her husband and her opened a bed and breakfast. It was truly a dream come true, and she did that. It's called the Tuscan Villa, where she was able to give hospitality one-on-one and these food services in an amazing smaller venue. After closing the B&B, it was somewhat bittersweet, but the next chapter was extremely exciting. That's where she's having a blast being a private chef and also working on the next project, publishing a book magazine filled with recipes, anecdotes from her B&B experience, life in Paso, and everything between. Stay tuned. So, welcome to Chef Ayun. Thank you. It was a long intro, but you got the whole picture.
Well, I'm going to be brief because your food is in front of you, ready to be eaten. I do very much enjoy what I do, and I'm grateful for the opportunity. When it comes to food and wine, I think, the two go so together. Like you can't really choose one or the other. Or, for me, and my husband is a wine person also, so we are very passionate about food, which is how we ended up here. So what I prepared for you today, when you have a menu on the side and you have the wine pairing that goes with each bite, you're probably gonna end up maybe with a couple of bites from each little plate. And you're going to start with the potato pave, which I paired with the viognier. And you're gonna find that the next one is also a viognier. The reason why I kind of have fun putting them together is because they're so different. I think the first one is really, I was thinking creaminess. I mean, I always, when I drink wine, I just close my eyes. It's like, what would I want to eat with this? And that's kind of how it goes. I'm not really a technical person when it comes to wine, or I'm not really, I just kind of go with what tastes good. And so that's the bite that you're going to have with the first viognier. The second one, when I had it, and I've had it more than once, I taste a lot of pineapple. I taste citrus, and it's just so refreshing. So hopefully the ceviche that you're having, it's a little different because it does have pineapple in it, so it's going to have a hint of sweetness. And but I think it goes really, really nice together. And then the third bite is gazpacho, which again, given the temperature that we have today, how perfect is that? And I think it also pairs really well with the wine, with the Nebbiolo from Symbiosis. And I took a gamble today. I decided I'm a plan B. When you work in television, you always have to have plan B and C because things never work out the way you think they are. So that I apply that a lot to my cooking. Given that it was going to be 114 today, I'm thinking I am crazy to be baking, right? Because it's not going to work out. But guess what? That little twist that's in the soup is just came out of the oven. So hopefully you guys will enjoy it. And I'm going to leave and enjoy I'll just let the winemakers do the talking. So thank you all for coming. Thank you.
And if you end up having questions for her, we're going to have her come back at the very end. Okay. It looks like, so for your first one, you're going to have Jenny Jocelyn from Cereal Wines coming out to talk to you about her wine. Hi. So like you said, I'm from Cereal. We're excited you guys are here. And that first wine out in front of you is our Viognier. So the Viognier comes from the Willow Creek district here in Paso. Our goal at Cereal is to really dive into exploring the Paso AVA. So we have all of our small production wines being district specific. And when you leave, you'll probably walk right by us. The Viognier is in an acacia and neutral French oak, lots of citrus and stone fruit, a little bit floral. And I was kind of excited to hear the chef mention that creaminess too, because it does have a nice roundness to its mouthfeel. So you guys enjoy. Any questions about the wine? And then also just kind of mention my favorite thing about the wine is preparing in any setting is that as adults, how often do we get encouraged to play with our food? I can't think of the last time where I was like, growing up, my parents don't let us play with their food. In this situation, even though it's fancy and beautiful and delicious, I would highly encourage you to play with your food, have a good time with it, go back and forth and see the way that they interact with each other. Is there anything that's standing out for you about either your small bite or the first wine that you're enjoying? Everything. You want to talk about so if you guys are,
I like the fact that this potato it's a delicate texture and bite, and I think this wine is very nice.
They are in harmony with each other? If you don't mind, I'd like to tell you a little bit more about Cereal Wines. So like I mentioned before, we are right downstairs. We're right on Park Street. Yeah, you've seen it. You've probably seen that crazy door out front. And at night, if you walk by when it's dark, there is a moth and Cereal Wines that's lit up on the ground. Our hours are kind of crazy. We do 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. every single day. And then Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, we're there all the way till midnight. So if you are having dinner downtown, hanging out is an awesome spot to come spend some time with us in the lounge. We do love to just, have you come in and hang out. It's very loungy in there. Like I mentioned before, we do a small production district specific wine. So all of our wines are, less than 200 cases. You can only find them there in the lounge. And we do a huge variety. So several different whites, several different reds. Live music about once a month. Thank you.
Where's the business?
Oh, yeah. So in the Willow
Yes.
Yes.
Who's ready for their next bite? Good. So, welcome out Cole Stilson from Stilson Cellars. He's the winemaker there, and he's going to tell you about the next one.
Hello, everyone. So like she said, I'm Cole Stilson. I'm part owner, along with her, and the winemaker at Stilson Cellars. Today we have our 100% BEA, which is our 2023 vintage. And the way I kind of made it was a little bit of a lighter style. I know BEA can be a pretty versatile white grape. You can see it in any kind of vessel, oak, stainless, concrete, terracotta. We went full stainless steel, and then also I only kept it in primary fermentation, so you keep all of that malic acid in there. And like Chef Alma was saying, you get a lot of tropical notes, even like some pineapple in there, and so I think her pairing is perfect with it. So what you'll have there is in that square cup is a pineapple ceviche with a little bit of like a wonton cracker there, and I think the acids kind of battle together, but end up kind of chilling out after that, which is perfect. And I'm very excited for this pairing, but it's just a really good summertime white. It's very refreshing, very crisp.
Go ahead and dig in.
And then in general, for Stilson Cellars, we're just right on 10th and Railroad. We're on the other side of the park, I would say. Just very small productions, just a small family project. And this is our one white right now. We're expanding the whites this year. And we try to expand our events as well, so we're trying to do a bunch of stuff. So. Yeah.
You're on the grand tasting also, correct?
We are, yes. And so we'll have our rosé over there as well, and a few of our reds. Yes, sir.
The minerality of it.
The minerality. Yes, sir. Yeah. So the fruit came from Templeton Gap on the west side of the freeway. So you still get that kind of like limestone calcareous, and you get a lot of coastal influence right through that valley right there. It's kind of like, I don't know if you know the area of Trader Joe's. On Vineyard, so you still get that nice area coming from the 46, and it's that really good soil from the west side.
I mean, I think it ends with a nice finish on the wine.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, yes, sir. Absolutely. That's what I was kind of going for. I wanted something very light. I wanted the minerality on the end, but I was more going for the tropical fruit, just like the very refreshing type. But it just kind of came with it.
And now, a word from our sponsor. The 27 individual tasting rooms that make up the downtown wine district are situated in the heart of Paso Robles City Center, where you are only steps away from all Paso Robles has to offer in the way of dining, shopping, and entertainment. Visit downtown Paso Robles to find yourself among the greatest concentration of wineries in the area. Downtown, consumers can experience Paso Robles' rich and diverse wine country lifestyle, sample quality wines from each of the region's 11 distinct sub-appellations, and have the opportunity to meet vintners that are as passionate about downtown as they are about their wine.
Who's ready to move on to the next one? Are we majority ready to move on? Alright. And then he's continue to enjoy your bites, but we're going to now have Donna from Symbiosis, the owner and winemaker, the One Lady Show. So she's ready to tell you about her wine.
Okay, are you guys ready? Yeah. Okay, so what you have in front of you from me is a Nebbiolo. Many people think they've never had Nebbiolo before because they've had Barolo or Barbaresco from Italy. And those are all wines made with Nebbiolo grapes. So it's a little bit obscure, but it's not as obscure as it seems. And I think it's really interesting that Alma decided to pair it with this gazpacho. So what I usually suggest with the Nebbiolo is something spicy, like a spaghetti and meatballs, like that good old knock you in the face herbal kind of spaghetti meatballs. Or the elk they make at the range in the cherry bordelaise sauce, because this wine has kind of a cherry and orange peel nose. So it's like a California wine when you smell it, but an Italian wine when you drink it, because it's light-bodied, tannic, acidic. And there is something a little bit tomatoey about the wine, which I think is why she decided to make the gazpacho. So once you get to it, yeah, don't wait for me. You should and also, any comments that anybody has, we should talk about it together. Or you can talk about it behind the back. Anyway, so This wine is a 2015, so that's pretty unusual to be pouring in a tasting room, but I pour this all the time in my tasting room. And it's still maybe not even quite ready yet because the window for Nebbiolo is usually 15 to 30 years. So it may taste really young to you, but I watched it grow a lot, and I feel like it is ready, especially when you have it with something like that. So what else? The grapes came from Edna Valley, a vineyard that has been gotten rid of and replaced by the new owners, the Gooseweed Company. So I don't know if it's citrus now or if this was just too obscure of a grape for them to be interested in. Yeah, so does anybody have any comments about the food or the wine or the pairing or anything else?
I mean, it does pair really well. The wine is 15, it still has a lot of tannin in it, right? So
that's Nebbiolo.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And but the gazpacho really just kind of takes the edge out of it.
So she did a good job. She's pretty professional.
So how long do you age it before you release it?
Because I'm a one-person show, I'm very casual about everything. So I tend to do things when there's time or when I feel like it. So there's no program for me like almost every other wine. In this case, I made the wine, hated it, absolutely hated it. And I put it all together in a tank from the barrels and stuck it in the back of the winery and just stored it for a couple of years. And then I went back to it and I was like, oh wow, this is really interesting. So I bottled it and it's been a few years since it's been involved.
So in Barolo, it's 4 years and old by law, right? But if you have it right at that point, it's still very raw.
That's way too young.
It's really raw.
Yeah, this was, after 4 years, this was so difficult. In fact, I used to pour it in the tasting room just to watch people's faces. And also because a lot of people don't know what tannin is. So I go, here, try this. You're not going to like it, but try it. So there's an interesting movie on Netflix called The Barolo Boys. I don't know if anybody here has seen it. So there was an old-fashioned Italian wine-making community that just did everything the same way for 100 years or whatever. And one guy decided, hey, France gets a lot of money for their wines, and so I want to do what they were doing. So we went to Bordeaux and learned their winemaking techniques and brought them back. And there were these two factions. There were the old guys, and if you watch the movie, you see these like little old Italian toothless guys, and they're arguing with each other about what's the right way. So it's a fun movie to watch.
The story I heard in Barolo, there was a woman like centuries ago who came to the area, tasted the Nebbiolo grape in the wine, and saw the potential in it. That really helped develop. I'm sorry, forget.
I don't know that story.
Yeah, so, and this winery still exists today.
Fun thing about wine is the incredibly long history and story.
So I guess I've been relegated to entertain.
She's gonna tap dance for you.
Do a little dance, do a little romance. All right, so I'm just going to talk about the Downtown Association a little bit and kind of introduce you to the concept of why we're doing the Vibe. So there are 28 tasting rooms, I think, now in downtown. So has anybody actually visited every single one of us? Well, you now have your mission. If you choose to accept it, there's 28. The majority of the tasting rooms will have a tasting map for you so that you can go into any of the tasting rooms and grab it, and it will have nice little dots that Deb spends a lot of time figuring out how to put the dots in the right places.
There's always an edit. Every time the map goes out, there's something wrong with it. Just know it's an amateur over here making that.
She does a spectacular job, and it's a volunteer job, which is insane. So thank you very much for all you do. But the thing about downtown is, well, first of all, I'm Lori from Dracaena Wines. You are not tasting my wines here, but I will be down there for you to taste. The reason why I chose to do a tasting room in downtown is for these people that I get to work with on a daily basis. In many places, there's so much competition. Everybody's like, well, no, you come to my winery and that's it. And with downtown, it is definitely not that way. You can come into my tasting room, and on any given day, I'm more than happy to tell you, well, you know what? If you like this type of wine, this is where you should go. If you like this type of wine, this is where you should go. We all have a spreadsheet that has all of the wines that we all make. And so if you come in, somebody comes in and says, oh, I want a sweet wine. None of my wines are sweet. I can tell you where to go to get sweet wine. That's kind of why downtown is downtown. The wineries work with each other. We support each other. We go to each other's events. And so you have 28-ish, is that what it is? Yeah. 28 wineries that you can go and experience different things. And each winery kind of specializes in something specific. And you can go in and try each of those. So I don't know if you can see, I've been recording things. So I write a blog. I have a whole other business called Exploring the Wineglass. And that is it's an award-winning blog. And I do a podcast by the same name, Exploring the Wineglass, and that is what I'm doing the recording for. So a lot of what I do with Exploring the Wineglass is to promote Paso. Downtown wineries, we have a lot of episodes on the podcast where I'm interviewing the winemakers from the other wineries, where you get to hear what they're going through and, the good, the bad, 2020, not so great, 2021, all the heat, all of that stuff, and how the winemakers approach producing wine each vintage, depending on what Mother Nature has to say. So that is called Exploring the Wineglass. You can listen to it wherever you listen to podcasts. And each of these episodes where I'm interviewing a winemaker brings you into the inside of that winery and maybe introduces you to a winery that you've never heard of, but you're like, hey, I want to try those wines. They're serving the food, so I don't think I have to talk much about it. But if you have any questions, and this is where I'm Jersey, I'll talk to anybody anytime. Does anybody have any questions about downtown or about the event, about anything?
How long do you think there have been tasting rooms downtown? Is that a relatively new phenomenon, or are they both?
No, so I don't have the exact date, but I know Pianetta was one of the very first tasting rooms in downtown because she sent me, Caitlin sent me a tasting map that has her and like one other winery on it that's not here anymore. And so I think that she was one of them, that Pianetta was one of the first, but also the oldest because the other ones that were here aren't here.
What was that time?
Deb, do you know?
I'm
when
sorry.
did Caitlin come in? When did Pianetta come into downtown? We've been here for a long time. Well, I have, but we've been here for a long time, and it's kind of, it's good and bad. It's wonderful. You get to park your car and walk around and taste in amazing restaurants and tasting in lots of wineries. Of course, on our 114th day today, it's better to taste us right here.
Right.
But yeah, so around 17, I would say maybe 18 years ago. Anybody else have any other questions? Come on, people.
How long is your winery?
Josina Wines. So Josina Wines started in 2013. We started with a mere 75 cases of Cabernet Franc because we love Cabernet Franc. That is what our specialty is. In those 10 years, we've never seen anything less than a 90. And actually, with our last vintage, we were named by Decanter Magazine as one of the top 30 wineries in Paso, which I fell off the chair when I read that. Thank you. We make 500 cases, so to be that small and to be named with some of those other guys that were in that list in Decanter Magazine was pretty impressive. When we went to go release our 2013 Cabernet Franc, which was 2015, I realized that there was a wine holiday for everything, and there was not one for Cab Franc. And so I am from Jersey, so we are sarcastic. Jersey in the house, nice. Billy, all right? We don't like the Flyers, but that's okay. Go Rangers. I hate the Devils, sorry. So we realized that there was a wine holiday for everything else, but not Cab Franc. So I did start Cab Franc Day, and it is now internationally recognized wine holiday, which brings people to Paso. So we're excited. So I believe Deb has.
I'm ready for the next.
Out.
Yeah. So Denise.
December 4th. Okay. Sorry, December 4th. I'll tell you why later.
All right, so now you have Denise from Seashell Cellars.
I'm very excited.
So super excited to be talking about our low tide. It's Seashell's flagship. What put Seashell pretty much on the map. Very, very expressive cab. Every year the blend switches up. So for this 22, it's going to be 88% Cab Sauv and then 12% Petit Verdot. Just bottled 2 months ago. So it's a 22, very expressive, literally no heat on the finish. I am so excited about this low tide. Obviously very drinkable right now, but it's going to keep getting better as it ages. It's a different take on a cab. It's going to be a little more food forward, very, very food friendly. It's aged in new French oak, aged for about 18 months. Our winery is Eastside Paso, the Estrella AVA. So we get that nice coastal breeze in the morning. The fog rolls in. 4 o'clock typically, if you're not from Paso, hottest part of the day here in Paso. But the cool thing is, 8 o'clock at night, we can plummet down 30 degrees. So that coastal breeze comes in, really makes those vines flourish. Unlike us humans, guess what? Vines love stress. So they're getting that stress at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, but morning, early evening, they get to release. So Seashell, we're on 13th Street, right across the street from Della's and the Hatch. 100% family owned and operated. I am not part of the family, but I kind of adopted myself into it. Have had the privilege of working with them for a little over 5 years now. Again, estate fruit. They do about 2,200 case production per year. So you're not going to see Seashell like many of the others here today in grocery stores, but we do have some local presence in the local restaurants and hotels here. Owners are from Colorado, so any Colorado people, any family, yes? All right, so you'll see in quite a few of the restaurants in Colorado, you're going to see that Seashell label over there. So, any questions?
Denise wants to run off the stage, so somebody ask her.
No, ask me questions. Come on.
Thank you.
How much? It's really good and it's
How much is that bottle?
So 42. Today we are offering a discount, 10% off. We will be down here, of course, main event today. We are going to be pouring our rosé. It's a Provence style rosé. Really soft, easy. I call it the porch pounder.
The 22 or the 23? 22.
Yeah. And then we are actually pouring our Surf Balboa, which is a new blend. It's a Tempranillo Syrah blend. You don't find that often. And then a new release that actually has not even come out yet, our 2020 Syrah. Have a few club members here, they've tasted it. And then we have our Estate Cuvée, which is a Syrah cab blend. So, anybody else? Any questions? All right. Well, enjoy, everybody.
And now, a word from our sponsor. Exploring the Wine Glass is brought to you by Dracaena Wines. Dracaena Wines is an artisan winery located in Paso Robles, California. They have been producing wine since 2013. Their first vintage began with one wine, their classic Cabernet Franc, which received a 91 in Wine Enthusiast. Since then, they have increased production as well as expanded their portfolio, have received many accolades including multiple double gold medals and consistent 90+ ratings. Visit their website www.dracaenawines.com or use the link in the show notes to schedule a private tasting and to see their entire portfolio. Purchase your award-winning wine and let Dracaena Wines help turn your moments into great memories.
All right. My name is Brandon. I'm from Indigene Cellars. It's right outside the window in the alley right here. Now we can start with there's a reason why they make people laugh. So this is why I'm last. Anyway, what we have is the taco is blue corn, which is like goes great with fruit. So we have Estrella Clone Syrah. This is from the Estrella River Clone. It's created in Paso. It's a clone Syrah that is preconceived with high tobacco and charcoal notes to make us competitive with colder climate areas. So we have a Syrah that tastes like Santa Barbara Syrah or places in that area because Syrah is the type of wine that would do better in its third trimester. So you want to get the quality and the characters that you want in September, October, November. And a lot of times with this heat, we're not getting in that area the heat clusters hanging on the vine. So this is the Estrella clone. It was created here by some guys from Paso Robles, and we're proud of it. The Estrella River and the Estrella winery originated in Paso Robles. This wine goes great with this dish because we paired it opposites. This is more like the blue corn to go with the fruit of Syrah. It's more like the opposite. The Escovitch is more like a vinegar note, and that would go opposite with more of the satiny finish or the satiny head palate of Syrah. I gotta take my notes because I'm great at wine, but I didn't. The red onion also has bright acid, and that's great with the satin mid palate. And then so the avocado mousse is the highest pH part, and that's where the bright acid comes at, and the start of the mid palate. So this wine went great with this dish. I tasted it myself. I will stand behind it. I am a representative of the Downtown Paso Association. These guys are making amazing wine, and where at one time in Paso Robles there would be a couple of wineries, and I'm not trying to short anybody, but it was more like a novelty. These guys are artists, every one of them. There's guys out here that have been in the business 25 years. They make an amazing wine. They're artists. They live the passion. They've been around forever, and they're part of the essence of Paso Robles. Downtown is where it needs to be. So again, Indigene Cellars is right in the alley, right outside, right here. We make a couple of wines. I started out as a wine bottler, so I'm kind of the most backward person in the wine business, the most schizophrenic menu of wines. We do some of everything there. I literally learned something about wine from probably 500 guys in the wine business all over California in the time that I bottled wine. But I made El Paso a home. This is where I'm from. I love this business. I love this art. I consider myself an artist, and I'm learning every day. This is going to get better every year, and it's going to be more exciting all the time. I've never been in a place where there's so many high-functioning artists. We get all each other at a high level.
I think pound for pound, the best tasting experience that you guys can get. And me walking around could be downtown. I don't know of a wine down here that doesn't hold up to Napa Valley, Paso Robles, outskirts, San Lucia Highlands, Santa Maria Valley, everywhere you go. These guys kill it. I love to be a part of it. And again, we'll go circle back to, there's a reason why they have me last. So, anyway, cheers you guys. I hope this is great. Cheers. Any questions you guys have, I'm in.
Questions?
What have you done with the wine for 6 years?
For 6 years?
This is an 18. So
That's 18, yeah. So, like I said, the Strawberry River Clone is a wine that the clone is conceived with bigger tobacco note, bigger charcoal note.
I mean, has it been an oak? Has it been a bottle?
It stays, and I do everything in French oak. Nadalier, which is more like a Pinot style barrel, but the Pinot program that they use, we did it with Syrah because we wanted to have more fleshy, like Burgundian style notes, but big, brighter, higher acid, and a mid palate that would be at the same level. That way it stays present, and then a big finish that would have satin, but the tannins that would hold up to a wine.
So 1 year, 2 years ago?
It's my 3 years ago, and it's been in bottles since 2021.
So 3 years in new or new?
Nah, we're not big new old wines. That you'll see in the wines that you taste out here. We're more in the neutral window. I've always been the type of guy that we want to show the essence of the grapes that grow here. And this is West Side Fruit, which is a premium around California, I think. And we're selling wine here. We're not selling oak. So I'm not against oak barrels, but I want to be able to show what they have to sell, what they have to exhibit here at Paso Robles, not what they have at barrel programs.
Very nice pairing.
Cheers.
Excellent.
All right.
Any other questions for Ray before?
So we're going to bring Alma back out so you guys can talk to her, or if you want, she can come to your table, or just, if you have any questions for her. So Alma, come back out, please. All right.
Thank you.
First of all, I think
I don't really have much more to say.
I know. If you have questions for her, we told you she was going to be out here. So
I don't know if you're all from Paso or came from somewhere else. I do live in Paso. I'm a private chef. If you ever have a special occasion, something, to celebrate and you want a private dinner.
Woohoo!
I love cooking and I love working with winemakers. So food and wine, like I said, it's always a good thing.
Very much.
Yeah. Any major disagreements on the pairing?
No.
No? Okay, good. Because sometimes you taste a wine today and you may have an idea, and you taste it tomorrow or even a month later, and it's a completely different story. So it changes, yes.
Excellent.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you guys all made it today. Enjoy the rest of your day, and thank you again for allowing me to.
Turn right into wine.
This has been another episode of Exploring the Wine Glass. Thanks for listening. If you have suggestions on what topics you would like me to discuss, please reach out on social media. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook as Exploring the Wine Glass. I am also on LinkedIn as Lori Hoyt Budd. Of course, you can always email me at exploringthewineglass@gmail.com and sign up for my newsletter at exploringthewineglass.com. If you enjoyed what you heard, please rate, review, and subscribe to help others find me more easily. And most importantly, tell your wine-loving friends, because if you like the podcast, they will too. Podcast music is Wine by Kevins. Until next week, slancha.
Right now. I'm on Kevins for my 10,000 tell you. There is always time for a good glass of wine. A nice glass right now.